Hey, sports fans! Welcome to another edition of Inside Sports alongside Nick Dietz. I'm Sean Kowalczyk, and welcome to our finals week, where we're going to break down first the NBA Finals and then the Stanley Cup Finals. Nick, let's start with the NBA Finals.
Alright, and just so the sports fans know, we have watched both of the first games of each series just so we can kind of get a nice way to predict the rest of the series for you. This is our only video before the finals, talking about the finals before they end. But we have seen the first games of each of the NHL and NBA Finals. But anyway, over to NBA. We have the Dallas Mavericks versus the Miami Heat. And Shawn, the first game was different. Not what I would have expected. Very much like the four big stars, Dirk, LeBron, Bosh, and Wade, scoring all above 20 points. Bosh had 19, close enough.
Yeah.
But the story was what the rest of the teams didn't do, and that was score. And Dallas had a hard time scoring, and especially the bench. I mean, Jason Terry was really the only one who scored for them. I think he had, 16?
Shawn Marion at 16.
Jason
Terry at 12.
Yep.
But then the rest of the team just dropped off right after that. I mean, they expect players like J.J. Barea to step up, Jason Kidd, but they just weren't. It was a poor performance by the Dallas bench.
And speaking of poor performances, the Miami Heat didn't do stellar off the bench or their starters. Two of their starters had 0 points besides the big three.
Mm-hmm.
They combined for 5 or 6 rebounds and 5 or 6 assists, and that was it from their other two starters besides Bosh, Wade, and James. So, not very impressive from either bench, really. I mean, only 5 or 6 people had above 10 points in the entire game, and that was it. So I expected a little more of high scoring. Not that they're not defensive teams.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously they're here because they're both. But I expected a little bit more points from especially the Mavericks.
Oh yeah, me too. And it was a close game throughout. 1 point Maverick lead at halftime, but then they kind of sputtered out, and the big three really took over. So it was kind of disappointing, I think, for, you could say, both teams. The Heat obviously got the win, but they can play better. But the Mavericks can play a lot better too, especially if they get people involved into their game. Besides Dirk, it's not just the Dirk show. He's their best player, but he can't do all the scoring himself.
And he did his job. He was on. He
27 points.
Yep, he had his 27 points, and he needs to be looking around and saying, "Well, where's the rest of my team?" Because they didn't show up that night.
Yep.
And it was, kind of a waste because I thought that Dallas definitely needs to take one of these first 2 games in order to win the series. And, I think you're not going to find a poor performance like this from the rest of the team tonight, from Dallas. But if it is like this and they do lose, I think it's going to be a lot more difficult to get back into it.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. Miami is a hard place to win at. The fans are really supportive, especially with the big three there now, and so it would be huge for if Dallas can steal one tonight. I say Dallas wins the series, but if Dallas falls down 0-2, I think they can win all 3 at home because Dallas is another hard place to play. It's crazy there, and everybody loves their Mavericks, but for them to have to come back and win in Miami, I don't know. I think it's a must-win tonight for Dallas.
It could be down to the battle of home court. Obviously
Exactly.
It was, I think, a 1-game difference in the season records to determine which of these teams has the home court advantage. I'm sorry, but it wouldn't surprise me if it went 2-3-2, and then if anyone was able to steal one away, then that would be the difference to end it in less than 7. But you talk about momentum, head of steam. I think in the professionals it's not as big of a deal, so I do think the Mavericks will win at least 2 at home, if not all 3.
Yep.
But they need to steal one tonight to have a good chance of winning.
Yep. I think the Mavericks are going to win in 7 games. That's my prediction right now. And even though they lost the first one, I think they have to win tonight. I think they're going to win tonight. I think Dirk's going to have a big game. I think Jason Terry is going to step up and have a big game. Shawn Marion is going to have another big game. I look for Tyson Chandler to get more involved, J.J. Barea to actually get some of his shots to fall. I say Mavericks win game 2, then they win 3 at home, and that's a series 4-1.
You think they're going to win 5
No,
games?
I'm just kidding. I think, though, they will win in 7. I think they will steal one tonight, and they'll even the series 1-1. I think Miami will take one in Dallas, but I think in the end, the know-how, the veteran know-how, because remember, Miami, besides Dwayne Wade and another player, there's not a lot of playoff experience. LeBron does, but he doesn't win. Yeah.
Basically.
But the Mavericks, their team has a lot of experience with Dirk, Jason Terry, Jason Kidd. There's just more veteran know-how in the playoff experience for them. So I look for that to carry them and for the Mavericks to be the NBA champions.
And, it's kind of really hard, now that we've seen the first game, it's kind of easier to maybe make a prediction or harder to go against it like you have here. But if, I want to say the Miami Heat are going to win again tonight because I feel like the rest of the players that gave them nothing, all they have to do is give them something, and then Miami's over 100 points a game. And I don't know if the Mavericks, even with an extra, some odd points from their bench players, is going to be able to top that. So I look for more high-scoring games from now on because I think Mavericks are going to get desperate. Whoever's on the back foot's always going to get desperate, going to score more, less defense, and I think both teams are going to benefit from make it better games to watch, that's for sure. But I think the Miami Heat are going to win tonight, and then I believe they'll pick up one more away, and I think it'll probably end up 4-2 in 6 games, with Miami winning at their second-to-last game at home. So, all
right, we'll see how it plays out.
Predictions. Make a little bet.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to lose his money.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. Anyways, over to NHL.
The NHL. The first game was played last night between the Boston Bruins and Vancouver Canucks, and the Canucks won 1-0. It was a tight game, very, very tight. I mean, it was almost boring to watch because Vancouver didn't score until 19 seconds left in the third period, and it was just back and forth. I think it was really unfortunate because the Bruins lost this game for themselves. This was their game to win. They outplayed the Canucks all game. Tim Thomas had a great game in goals, same with Roberto Luongo. But in the end, it was just failing to capitalize on power plays for Boston, and they had a couple good shots lined up, and they missed them. They easily could have, I think they could have went up 2-0, or could have won 2-1, and they blew it, and the Canucks got lucky.
Yep, and exactly what you said. It was the story of Boston losing the game for themselves. I mean, you can talk about Boston going 0-for-6 again for power plays, which they're an awful at all postseason, but they defended the 6 power plays against them for Vancouver very well. I mean, they kept Vancouver from scoring on power plays. Vancouver went 0-for-6 as well. Tim Thomas played great, he had 33 saves. They had a long 5-on-3 chance. So these weren't only 5-on-4 power plays. They did have 5-on-3. They couldn't capitalize, and they led in every category: hits, takeaways,
shots on goal.
They led in every single category except the only one that matters, which is goals. And it's very unfortunate. A left winger in Torres scored for Vancouver, not a scoring player.
Nope.
The guy who put that hit on, who had some pretty nasty hits early on in the playoffs that maybe, I don't know, should have maybe been suspended for the rest of the playoffs. Remember, he had a couple game ban, and then he hit the Blackhawks player, Seabrook, right? And then in the head, and then probably should have gotten suspended for the rest of the playoffs as well. And now he scores a goal. But, anyways.
It's just interesting how it works out. But I think that was Boston's game to win. I think if they won that last night, they would win. I think that they would be the front runner for the Stanley Cup because their defense is just that good. They showed Vancouver is a scoring team. They know how to score. They know how to put the puck in the net. And to hold them until the last 18 seconds of the game shows how tough of a defense you are. It shows how good Tim Thomas is. He's right up there with Roberto Luongo. I mean, it's just they couldn't capitalize on power plays, and that's been the story throughout the playoffs.
And it's a deflating loss because Boston knows they blew it, but it was such a close game, it's so hard to predict what's going to happen in the next couple of games because they could all be like this. They could all be, I think it's either going to be this type of a game or a 5-4 type of game with, I think they're always going to be within a goal, or they should be, with Boston's defense and Vancouver's offense, but The only problem is Vancouver can play better defense and Boston may be able to play offense.
Exactly.
And that may be the difference is their weaknesses.
The thing is, though, I just going back to the Vancouver Canucks Blackhawks series. The Blackhawks were able to throw Luongo out of his sink,
Mm-hmm.
and they were able to really capitalize. They were down 3-0, and they came back to tie the series.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if Boston
Yeah.
can put some scoring together, they can try and get Luongo out of it again, out of sync,
Mm-hmm.
and they capitalize on that. They're a much better defensive team. They just play their solid D, and they get their goals. When they have to capitalize, though. Capitalization is key for Boston to win the series.
I don't know what they're doing. You know what? I was watching Barry Melrose talk about the hockey and the Bruins power play, and go back to basics. Move the puck, couple passes, shot. Get the puck on goal because you know what you're not going to do if you don't shoot. Score.
Yeah.
So they need to keep it simple. I mean, power plays. It's not that difficult. I know it's the professionals in Vancouver. It has good defense and all that stuff, but. Couple passes shot. Put the puck in front of the net. You never know what's going to happen. And they should be scoring on these power plays, and they're not. And when they play as good as this and they let it go,
It's a shame for Boston fans. I mean, they took 36 shots on goal.
Yep.
But there's no reason they should. The more the shots they take,
Yep.
the more chance they have of scoring. Luongo can't save everything, no
Exactly.
matter how good he is.
Yep. And 36 is a good amount of shots in hockey. You're really
It
not
is.
going to have to find. You shouldn't have to more than that to
get at least
score
one
a goal.
goal,
And
yeah.
he played well, and the defense for Vancouver played well. But it's more of a story of the offense of the Bruins not playing well.
So, what's your prediction?
My prediction is going to be. It's so tough. I think that Vancouver. I feel like Boston's going to win tonight. Or, not tonight, I'm sorry. The next game, game 2 at Vancouver. And then I think that it'll go back and forth type of thing where one takes the lead and then one
Ties it
takes
up.
ties it up. And I think it might go back and forth. And I think it's going to go to 7 games. But with the right now I just don't see how Boston, no matter how good their defense
You
plays.
can't win if you can't score it. You can play 0-0.
Boston, sorry to take so long, but Boston, Vancouver in 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. I know Boston has a great defense. The Bruins, I'd say one of the top defenses in the NHL, if not the best.
Yep. No, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. And but Vancouver they can score. They know how to move the puck with the Sedin twins. I mean, they can put the puck in the back of the net. And Boston, they can do it consistently. Boston can't. So unless Boston finds offense, Canucks in 7.
Yep. And stories for both though. First, it would be the first franchise Stanley Cup for Vancouver, and then Boston has
since
been
72.
Yeah, it's been forever. So keep an eye out for both of these series. They should be great. And we'll get you next time.
All right. See you later, folks.